folks. I believe this the last 2 weeks the hottest trend topic in the internet right now is Jump22, allowing his wife, who just got married after 30 days, to a very famous adult film star, known as the in the BBC category. I know it's gonna sound so weird, me being a father talking about this, but in a sense of way on how am I gonna elaborate this whole thing, and maybe I don't know if my daughter wants to hear this, but in the future, but how much it can, how that the aftermath would be like. So for those who does not know, so Adam and his wife, they're both in porn industry. Now I just got off with a long, an interview, looking at the podcast, saying like what the wife was specialized in her world was more of girl on girl scenes. Like I said, I don't watch her porn or anything like that, but or the other guys as well. And obviously Adam, they in their world, it's very different moral. They're doing it as a business, their trade, and the whole online community, celebrity around the world is shocked and amazed the decision to allow your wife to have the well-known BBC category man drilling on their wife, right? And obviously that's the industry. They have no moral. They have a moral scale concept or try to level up or whatever how it is. It's different perspective in a normal, regular human being, those who have a wife or a husband as well. And obviously everyone's just going crazy, white man allowing a black man, drilling on your wife, This is the sort of category what's going on. Cuckold, that's what they use that wording in America. Now, I actually make this video, and it wasn't the standard I was thinking, what was the behind, as I gathered more information, right? So what I'm saying here is, what is this? So what I'm saying is the fact that, yes, this is my second attempt on making this and try to elaborate understanding more, all right? So apparently Linda the Plug did not try maybe in her career time or in her sex life going through a BBC category, and she was looking forward to do with this particular guy with consensual, as the husband is paying him to do the job drilling oil for the wife, right? And the funny thing about the whole thing is that Adam is the husband, is the cameraman. And there's a couple of things that they cannot do. Is I try to make it PG as much as possible. No kissing scene, and no how do I say this? How can I make it PG? And no semen on the face. Right, that's the best way to describe. And like I said, I don't watch the clip and everything because I watched that podcast and I was reading it through, Jason podcast and looking at the whole thing. There was a scene that, wasn't scripted, was the cream pie, and as well with her, what's that word? Eating the cream pie out from the whole thing. I'm just there. I'm like, gosh, this is like, that's their industry. That's what they had to do. In our moral concept, we don't think that way. And when I was, going, like, there was a 15-minute from Jason Love interviewed on the bus, and mentions, like, the interviewer is claiming that, do you think that once you go black, you never go back? And he's like saying, no, but they'll think about it after 3 months. And after 3 months, it will kind of fade, a little bit fade away. And this sums up what I'm trying to say as me, as a father, trying to tell my daughter. Like, if you trying to be the reputation on being so-called nowadays a hoe, alright, is obviously you'll come across all sorts of guys, different spectrum, and it's going to come maybe one day with the BBC or the white one. And no matter what sort of relationship and what sort of marriage you're going to go through, you're going to think about that person that you did in the past. And once you reunited, let's just say you reunited in the future with that person again, you're going to think about your marriage or your relationship completely different. And there was an article, I have to pause it. Alright, I couldn't find the actual article that I found the other day. So you guys may know that the Usain Bolt sprinter, and they were attending the Rio Olympics, and as you know, he's a winner. Usain has found a girl in the club, lure her in. It turns out the boyfriend, the husband, or the widow, it's a known drug lord, and her life was changed, and she's ashamed was the outcome, because she did not know she was actually uploading photos of one of the most popular person in the world. And then she was complaining where, yeah, this guy, he has lightning, he's the fastest runner, but his manhood does not match on his champion. And what I'm trying to say here is the fact that to be an alpha male, or to be a successful male, or to be the top male, or top G, or whatever, is that they will reminisce on the guys in the past. The one has the big schlong and the mattress actress action, instead of what, she's actually shaming on him. There was actually the article for it, and I couldn't find it, but you can see it down here. The user manhood is small, so you can shame on a guy even though he's very successful. But if you have, like, how much is the impact, even though Usain Bolt can be a billionaire or millionaire or whatever, has a life, this and that, but you have a small manhood. They mentioned about, like, they had had sex twice, 40 minutes of sex, it was slow, and she was a bit she was like, well, you're the fastest man in the world, and you're giving me slow sex, small manhood, that doesn't match on what your attributes are. And this is what I said, like, a lot of people are bombarded with what's going on with Linda the Plague, the wife of Adams22, is the fact that once you experience the good D, they're gonna think about it or reminisce about it. Can be 3 months or years down the track. And obviously, let's just say they bump in a couple years later, they bump in the guy that she knows that have a good D. Of course, she's gonna holler at her, and to get into the business, like, that's why I said the whole thing. This is why I would like my daughter to know that you can be promiscuous about your life, and once you do listen to daddy and marry to the right person, but you think about the past, about the sex, and that particular person, you try to reach them and contact them and get in and get in and get in, and that when your future husband find out about it, then it's like cheating. Then conflict starts, and you divorce. And once you divorce, even you go for a man with a good penis may not have the best money or the best quality that is able to provide you. And what's going to happen with that is going to destroy your life and as well the family tree. And that's why as a father, I wish that I can guide you with these sort of videos that guide you through to be better. All right, that go through that sort of life. And I know that girls nowadays, especially where the suburb that I'm living, is gonna this hierarchy, cool kids, schooling environment is just gonna push you to lose your virginity and force you to do that so you can be part of the cool kids. That's unfortunately at the age of 13 you guys are losing your virginity, and taking contraceptive pill to boost your breasts, and you're gonna focus on more on the first historical female a long life profession on getting form of, I won't say sex industry, but a form of that sort of sexual market. And obviously, once you go through at a very young age until all the way to your marriage age, you won't settle down because you're thinking about the guy that you had in the past that has a big schlong, and you're gonna, you think about it. And that's why this whole Adam22 thing, as many people predicted that this is not going to last because she's going to think about that. Or maybe this is just a business because of, this is the industry, the way how it is. And when I was going through that, the interview of Jason, apparently in his career, he has banged, not on camera or probably on camera, depending on those wealthy people, rich people, seeing their wife screwed by like this type of guys, by 25 of them. And he mentioned one of them is the weirdest part is he has to bang the wife and the daughter while he's sitting on the corner while them having a good time. I don't understand white people, I'll be honest, to have that analogy, having the wife to be screwed. But just to know about that, it's like, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy to know the whole thing like that. And that's why I said I had to retake to make this video. I know it is not the best content that I usually talk about, but it is something that I like to change it and show to possibly my daughter, to understand that how much, if you try to get into this, this sort of sexual life, this is what you're gonna end up, and this is where it's gonna end. So even this girl, she had sex, she had no idea, and the saddest part about the whole thing is that she knew that this guy is some form of fame, some athletic, that she did not know he was very popular at the time. But why are you making this sort of video? So you try to trapping him, and the whole bloody nation is going against you. And this is like trapping. You try to trap him. You try to destroy his family or his love life. I know it's his wrong. I know choosing you, but that's how the athletic world. Apparently, they have to go through all this stuff and they go through orgies. That's their world. So yeah, prosecutor. Apparently, she got killed. Yeah, she got tortured and got killed in Brazil. So yeah. So yeah, she was tortured before she was murdered. Before his. You see, only with his two bullets. It's just the way how it is. It's gone very ended. And that's the pictures. I don't know. That's the ex or whatever. I realized she was a famous athletics. But why are you having that sort of picture? Oh well, I don't. This is not the picture. But you're trapping him and the whole world, and she felt ashamed on on the whole thing, and she realized how much the whole world looked at her. And look, it is what it is. I'm not gonna say anything like that. Uh, I think that boyfriend or or whatever has probably um whatever gone a shit out with the cops and who died as well. Look how much he has created, and that's why I said I would like to say this final message to my daughter. It's like even if you go through this past, right, or this history, whatever, you never know what's the consequence after. See, if these pictures did not, if nobody knew about they had sex, or these photos have been leaked, right, that boyfriend or that husband wouldn't die, and she wouldn't get killed. Even when you chase him for the clout, for fame, you think this is gonna get him, this is gonna go him down, but the aftermath, even if you do get married or whatever, this is how much it's gonna impact you. Where you're gonna be like, you know, you're all over the internet. One photo circulates the internet, and the problem with once you have the reputation being known to sleeping around X, Y, and Z, the social media is gonna spread. They're gonna say like your name, she's doing such and such, dude. People's gonna constantly label you as a whore or whatever, or slut or whatever the word it is, and that title will never get rid of it, even when you stop. Because once you have that title, people just spread from the social media to a different school to whatever out there, and you can't erase it. And that's your reputation. And obviously, you cannot live without the reputation. Continue the way you are. The reputation still stays there, even like, let's just say, I remember the girl from year 7. She does all that, and let's just say somehow I bump her to the street when I'm over 25 or 30 or 40 years old. I'll still remember her. I'm like, that's year 7. She's being sleeping, blah, 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 blah. She's being labeled as a whole during that time. Look at her now, blah, 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 blah. The consequence. So that's why I said, like, what's your reputation at a young age is very important. And what's been people been labeled you as, this has been haunted for even when you're high school, even when you go to adulthood or whatever, you don't do that sort of stuff. um, and whether you have a boyfriend or marriage, you will still think about you're from the streets. So that's why I said, in this video, it's very important. I know it's something that I don't usually talk about, but I could see the consequence that what is going to get to you lead to. At least in my high school reputation is that I was a geek, I was a follower, this and that. I've been bullied. At least they don't say like, that's the label that people sees me. But in today's world, being a geek and being a follower, this and that, there's no consequences or criminal record or anything bad about it. But if you are a drug dealer, let's just say I was a drug dealer during my high school, and when I grow up to be a form of not going so well in life, they're gonna say, well, it's William's past, blah 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 blah. He did this, did that. He hang around the wrong people, blah 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 blah. This and that. But that's why I said the reputation at the early age is very very important. That's why I say in this video. And let's just read on the comments what they say. Young man's having fun before marriage. As for the drug law, he's dead. No worries. But she's dead. I blame him before I blame her. Well, he can choose any girl out there. They were using a translator. The security guy had to get her. So yeah, that's what I said. She knew she was doing it for fame. So no, I fully hold her responsibility because she did what she did for fame. That's what the outcome. The whole nation hated her. This and that. If she didn't take those photos, it would be a lot better. I'll be honest with you. Things will be a lot better. But man, once you start doing with the famous guys or whatever, you taking pictures left, right, and center. So yeah, that's a problem. Alright, that's the video. I know it's 20 minutes. There you go.